On the morning of March 15th, and I guess you're going to have to edit this and go kind of back and forth, but we basically convened, we agreed to meet there at the quadrangle about 7:30 the morning of March 15th. There were just a few of us standing there. There was, of course, Marion, there was Julian, there was Lonnie, and I was, at the time, we were early arrivals. The word had really gone out to all of the campuses, and there we were just standing there, and we were wondering, are we the only ones who are going to make this thing? And then we looked up, and marching onto the campus from the side were these well-dressed students from Morris Brown College, and they were the first to arrive, led by Marion Smith. And basically, from that point on, students began to converge on the campus. I'll never forget that morning, simply because it was, you know, none of us knew essentially what was in store for us. But there was great anxiety, and of course there was youthful excitement. But you know, and we never really thought that more than 50 years later we'd be talking about it. So it's an interesting thing. But that quadrangle, that Atlanta University Center, it has such a rich history in the role of Black America. I mean, when you go all the way back to W.B. Du Bois and the giants who really went through there. I mean, just a phenomenal kind of thing. If there's anything that really helped to create a kind of Black middle class, it's really been the historically Black college. It really has. And Atlanta University Center has been so crucial in terms of the role it's played. And that quadrangle in front of Trevor Arnett Library, it's just a, you know, so much of a rich history there. And it happens to be an extraordinarily beautiful campus. Every time I pass it, I just admire it so.
Did you ever get arrested and go to jail? Or?
Not in Atlanta. Basically, I had, when I...
Oh, repeat the question in the answer form, though.
Yes, I have been, I was arrested, actually. When I moved to California, immediately I affiliated with Los Angeles Corps. And so every Saturday morning, we would go and picket some apartment or home because of housing discrimination. After a year of living in California, which I didn't like, I married and moved to New York and immediately became very active with New York Corps. At the time, the road between the South and the New Jersey Turnpike, just below the New Jersey Turnpike, was rigidly segregated. And so every Saturday we would go out into Delaware and Maryland in cars and test many of the accommodations with sit-ins. Interesting thing, it was on April 21st, I guess 2 years later, after the convening of the Raleigh meeting, I was arrested in a place called, a county called La Plata, Maryland, in a town called Pamunkey. And it was a place called the Thunderbird Motel. And we went to this motel because it was reported. Our reconnaissance people let us know that they would not serve black people. So I was arrested there. And again, this is how the black community rallied around us. There was a gentleman who was a lawyer named Tucker Darren. I'll never forget him. He also owned a motel called the Bluebird Motel. And basically, he basically bailed us out. And we then had to return to La Plata for an arraignment. And at the time, there were any number of black and white students who had been arrested around that area. So at the time, we then were heading back to New York, many of us, and we decided to stop off in D.C., where Richard Russell, senator from Georgia, and several other Southern senators were
Have a meeting in the hallway.
They're probably trying to get in the bathroom.
You heard him. Because they're probably trying to get in the bathroom. I've seen your name spelled a couple times, a couple ways, so I want to make sure we get it right on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to spell it on camera because they're
Sure.
the ones who transcribe it and
Right.
Create the banner with your name.
Right.
And then I have a release form for your interview so that we can use your footage for this project.
Sure.
And we'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
You have just given us just a phenomenal interview. This has got to be one of the top interviews that we have done. We're good.
So are you from Atlanta?
No, I am from Ohio.
Oh,
and
really?
I moved to Atlanta 15 years ago
Mm-hmm.
and met my husband and married him. He's from South Georgia, Perry, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
My background is project management, and so when I talked to council member and he talked about this project, I would love to be a part of it, and I have learned so much from you all.
Yeah.
And every time I finish your interview, I thank you for your sacrifice for me. Even though I did not grow up here, you still paved the way to me nationally.
Well, like I say, we're not the heroes. The real heroes, basically, in my view, are those 4 young men out of Greensboro. Those are the people who had the nerve to really put their necks on the line. And so, we simply said, if they can do it, we can do it. That's where the recognition should be directed.
Spell your name for me, please.
Yeah, it's Johnny, Johnnny. E is the middle initial. Parham, Parham Jr., Jr.
And is that doctor?
No.
Okay.
I was going to share something about riches. Ready? Well,